Hey everybody, welcome back to another Egg Inc video. Today we're going to be going over all of the methods of prestiging that late gamers use, or even mid gamers use. So basically, yeah, the target of this video is just people who have reached the universe egg and are looking to bump up their soul eggs as fast as possible and as efficiently as possible. There are three main types of prestiging. There is the preload, the all-in-one, and the multistige. Now, prestiging optimally can cost a lot of GE, so let's bring up a screen and take a look. Ooh, look, I have a gift. It's a prophecy egg. So yeah, if we go to the boost screen, the boosts that are used in this are the boosts all the way at the bottom. So we have the legendary boost beacon, which is 50x all active boosts for 10 minutes. We have the legendary tachyon prism, which is the 1000x internal hatchery for 10 minutes. The legendary soul beacon, which is 500x soul eggs for 10 minutes, and Jimbo's best bird feed, which is 50x for 10 minutes. So let's see how much these cost. Buy one or buy 5% is at the top of the screen, and if you do 5 at a time, which I recommend, it's 20% off. Also, once every like 3 months or so, there's a boost sale where you can get everything for an additional, I think it's 30% off. So it's good to wait and stockpile GE and then buy boosts then. But you can't always wait. If you need to prestige right now, you need to prestige right now. Now, I've already got a ton of these boosts, but I'm going to buy some of each one just to show you how much it can cost. So we've got our Jimbo's Best Bird Feed. That costs 10,000 per pop, or per set of 5, so that's 2,000 per pop. Then we got the Legendary Tachyon Prisms, which is 48,000, so about 10 grand per pop. Then we have our Legendary Boost Beacons, which are 40,000 per pop, and our Legendary Soul Beacons, which are 8,000 per pop. So after buying all of that, I have significantly less GE. I think I spent maybe more than 300,000. The worst part about this is that the most expensive boost, the Legendary Boost Beacon, is a boost that you use 2 of per prestige, whereas all of the other ones you use 1 of. And so that really limits the amount of prestiges you can do if you have a limited number of GE. And so for each of the methods I'm going to describe here, just keep in mind, and I'll mention it again, that there's a light method and a full method. And the light method is you use 2 50x bird feeds instead of the 2 50x boost beacons. And that's good to know because the light method is always the most SE per GE, whereas the full method is always the most SE per unit time. And so it just comes down to if you want to maximize your soul eggs per golden egg spent or your soul eggs per day you spend grinding the game. Okay, so now I'm going to go through like an overview of each of the types of boost setups. There's the preload setup, which is the most accessible. It requires the least actual thought, the least actual playing of the game. It's mostly just you can hang out and have a good time and just watch your soul eggs go up. However, it uses the most golden eggs. It gets you the most soul eggs per single prestige, but it gets you the least amount of soul eggs per unit time, actually. Then you have the all-in-one, which is like a preload, but uses much less GE and gets you a similar amount of soul eggs, not identical, and it gets you an average amount of soul eggs per unit time. It's a lot better than a preload, but a lot worse than what we're going to talk about in a second, which is a multistige. And multistige is pretty much what every late game player uses if they're serious about grinding up soul eggs. It is the most effective for getting soul eggs per unit time, which is all that most people care about. So this strategy does require the most effort out of the 3 different strategies, and it's probably actually the only part of the game that even can be considered skill-based, but it does come with the drawback that it requires you to be above a certain rank. Since it's a multi-stige, it's basically, we can call it an N stage, where N is the number of legs you do, and a 2 stage or a duo stage is the simplest of these, and that can be done at around peta 2, which is in the quintillion% earning bonus range. But that's only really if you have a tier 3 or higher dilithium monocle in combination maybe with a good set of dilithium. And the higher the rank and the more dilithium you have, and the better artifacts in general, the more effective the multi becomes, and you can do more and more legs. And we'll talk about what a leg of a multi is later, but it's just the number of times that you press the prestige button per set of boosts. So depending on which of these 3 positions you feel like you fall into, and so there will be links in the description for where I talk about each one, and you can just click to the part where you think it applies best to you, or you can watch the whole thing. I don't care. This is just to be helpful. Okay, so let's start off with a preload. We're going to go ahead and show this website that I've shown previously on the channel. It's called MK2. So the Smart Assistant page will tell you the best artifacts to use. There are 2 sections for this. There's the multi-prestige and all-in-one setups, and then there's the preload setups. So we're gonna look at the preload setups for now. For me, they are identical, but depending on where you are in the game, there will be a different set of them. So specifically, if you have a gusset amongst these, which increases your max hab capacity, keep that in mind for now. But so basically the general concept of a preload is that we're going to fill up our habitats as much as they can go, which is why the gusset's important. And after that, we're going to use our boosts of soul leg increasing boosts in order to maximize the amount of soul legs we can get. So let's go ahead and switch from here back to the game real quick. And in the game, you'll see that I already have the artifacts equipped. And if we go over to, well, first we got to get to Universe Egg, because we ain't wasting boosts off of Universe Egg, that's for sure. Max out as much research as we can do first as the first step. So going to want to make sure that we've upgraded our habitats as far as they'll go. So while upgrading, we're going to keep in mind one thing, which is that one of the researches, which we call WD, or wormhole dampening is what it's called in the game. Once we get to that one, we're going to want to intentionally not level it up. We're going to be a little bit careful about how we level it up so that we can make the preload work later. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've upgraded everything fully except for wormhole dampening. Now let's take a look at wormhole dampening. It has, I believe, 25 levels that you can do. And you're going to upgrade it as much as you can. And this is going to be for all of the research, really, is you're going to want to upgrade everything as much as you can. And it's okay if you can't upgrade everything, just do as much as you can. And then for wormhole dampening, you're going to specifically go until you can barely afford the next upgrade. And then you're going to stop. So for me, that's going to be all but the last level. And this is important because of the fact that whenever you're doing prestiging, you always need to have space in your habitats. Because if you don't have space, then you will be unable to run your chickens. And because of the running chicken bonus that you get, where you get a multiplier based on the number of chickens on screen, which you can see in the top left corner when I start running these chickens, you need to have space left over. So what we do is we just leave 1 level of WD left, and then you can buy that after you're done boosting. So now that we've fully upgraded our habs, our shipping, and our research, except for the last level of WD, let's go ahead and take a look at this helpful tool, which I'm going to put a link in the description for, called Salad Forks Egg Ink Tools. So in Salad Forks Egg Ink Tools, this is actually for contracts specifically, but we can just use it for what we're about to do, which is calculate how to fill our habs using the minimum amount of golden eggs. So let's just put in 1 for eggs required, 1 for this, just because we don't actually care about all of this stuff. Target egg laying rate. Let's put it at 1, current egg laying rate 1, current chicken count 1. None of this matters to us. What we want to use is what boosts can I use? And so the chickens desired, for me, it's going to be, if I show the screen at the same time, 11.18 billion chickens. Now, if you had a gusset on your screen from the artifacts page, equip the gusset now and see what that number goes up to. And that will let you know what number to put in here. So I'm going to put in 11.18 billion. And then it's going to ask me for my current internal hatchery rate. If you have the max internal hatchery rate, then it's going to be 7,440. But if you follow me into the settings, you can look up your stats. And then it'll show you at the bottom what it is in case you couldn't afford your max. You couldn't afford all of the internal hatchery upgrades. But for me, it's 7,440. So going back to this, we've got 7,440 as our chickens per hab per minute. Perfect. The way to get the most amount of chickens in your habitats with the least amount of boosts used per, like, costing GE wise, is going to be to have both a dilithium set and a IHR set with the life stones. A dilithium set is these pink stones, and each of the pink stones increase the duration of your boosts. So when we use a tachyon boost stone to increase our IHR, it'll last longer. And then the life stones increase your internal hatchery rate directly. So since dilithium stones only need to be active when you activate the boosts, we can first activate the boosts with the dilithium stones and then switch over to these life stones. As part of your life stone set, you're going to always want to have a dilithium monocle. And this one says that it gives us a 25% boost. So let's go ahead and put 25% boost into here. Okay, so now let's deal with how to handle all of our extra stones. So you'll notice that each of these life stones gives a 4% internal hatchery rate bonus. And I have 6, 8, 10 of them. So we're going to take our 11.18 billion population, and we're going to divide it by 1.04, which is our 4% per life stone, 10 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're going to look at our dilithium set, and we're going to see that each of these stones increase the boost duration by 8%, and I have 12 of them. So now we're going to divide by 1.08 12 times. So divided by 1.08, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the actual number that I need to put in here is only 3 billion. And so this is the way to maximize the use of your artifacts to boost with the minimum amount you need to fill up your habs. And so basically this is telling me that I need to use 1 epic tachyon prism and 3 boost beacons. And this will give me over the amount that I need. However, it'll take 120 minutes. And so even though I'm just showing you that you can reduce the cost by doing these things, I'm not actually going to do that right now for the sake of the video because I want it to go faster. One thing to note before I get carried away about this page is that it has this internal hatchery comm. This corresponds with the Epic Research internal hatchery comm in your game. And if you don't have that maximized, you should actually scroll this down to the level that you do have it at. As you see, you need more boosts the lower it is. And this is because of the fact that the website's going to assume that when you activate your boosts, you're going to go offline during their use. Because if you have internal hatchery comm and you go offline, aka quit out of the game and then come back in my case, after 120 minutes, you will get more chickens. You'll get 3 times as many chickens as if you just stayed online the whole time. So I'm just going to first double check that I have 1 level of wormhole dampening left. And then I'm going to use boosts that will get me all the way up to the amount that I need. And to make it fast, I'm just going to use these 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 of these boost beacons. So now I'm going to activate my internal set, and I'm going to get back to you guys soon. I'm going to quit out of the game for a couple minutes and then come back and my hab should be full. And this is why I don't do preloads, is because this takes so long. It's literally like we just have to wait here until our habs fill up, and it's so annoying. I just want to play the game. I don't want to sit here doing nothing. And oh my god, you haven't even seen the worst of it. I hate this strategy so much, because after this, we have to do something even worse than just sitting here. Because like right now, at least I can like just like play a game on my phone or like text people. But during the next step, we can't do that at all. Okay, we are approaching, finally, we're approaching max right now. And so, okay, so we're at max now. So what's gonna happen next is we're going to first want to cancel our boosts by clicking on the boost and then clicking that little red button. Gotta cancel all of these. It's imperative that you cancel all of them before doing the next step. So after you finish preloading, the next step is going to be to equip our dilithium set. Your dilithium set might be a little bit nerfed if you had to use one of your slots for a gusset earlier, but if not, then you get to use all of your dilithium set. And now we're going to activate our boosts. First off, make sure that you activate your video doubler. I already have mine active. You can see it in the top left corner. The next thing that we're going to do is activate the rest of our boosts. For me, they last 25 minutes and 10 seconds because of all my dilithium. So that's why it's important to have a dilithium set, is you get 2.5 times as long to actually earn SE. The boosts that you use in a preload are the legendary boost beacon, 2 of them. You use 1 legendary soul beacon and 2 Jimbo's best bird feed. Now, if you want to do a light version of this one, you're going to use 1 legendary boost beacon, 2 Jimbo's Breast Bird Feed, and 2 legendary soul beacons. And that's what I'm going to do just because of the fact that I don't want to waste my legendary boost beacons. Today's not even a 2x prestige day. And also I'm not going to be actually finishing these sets. I'm just going to be starting them for the video and for teaching. Okay, so let's go ahead and activate the 50x boost beacon, legendary soul beacon times 2, and then our Jimbo's Best Bird Feed times 2. After you do that, you can go over and change your set back to your main prestige set. So for me, that's this one. And now you just hold the red button. Oh, and I forgot, you have to upgrade that last level of WD. So now you have enough room to actually run chickens. This is also the worst part about preloads, is that you can't just like look away. You have to like hold the button and then let go of it to let your hatchery refresh, let go of it again. But you have to keep your running chicken bonus maxed the whole time to get the full benefit from it. So if I were to do this full prestige, it would just be 25 minutes of me sitting here, tapping this button, letting go, tapping the button for a couple seconds, letting go, holding the button for a couple seconds, letting go, holding the button for a couple seconds, letting go, holding the button for a couple seconds, letting go, holding the button for a couple seconds, letting go. And you know what? This is actually very effective because look, I'm already getting 826 quadrillion. This is a lot. Like if you look, my total is 72 quintillion. So I'm actually getting over 1% just from doing this strategy, but it took forever and it's also just kind of boring. But yeah, that's how you preload. That's all of preloading, is just you do this and then you wait 25 minutes of activating your red button and letting go of your red button and activating your red button, letting go of your red button. And after 25 minutes, I'd probably get like a couple quintillions from this. And would it be worth it? I don't know. It depends on if you value your time or not. I personally do value my time, so we're not even going to finish this. We're going to prestige now, and I'll meet you back at Universe in a second. Okay, so now on to all-in-ones. For all-in-ones, there's some similarities to preloads, but a lot of differences. And honestly, it's kind of just like a simpler preload. Like all of that complicated garbage that I was talking about with optimizing your boosts and stuff, just throw that out the window. With this one, we boost our population and boost our earnings at the same time, which makes it so that instead of having like that 4-hour boost time that in the start, or sorry, the 120 boost time at the start, on top of then the second phase of 25 minutes long of holding that button. For this one, it's just one set, which for me will be 25 minutes. For someone with no dilithium will be 10 minutes. And so it's a lot smaller chunk size to deal with and makes them a lot easier and just gives you more SC per unit time because of that. So I got MK2 up because of the fact that you want to make sure that instead of using your preloaded single prestige, you use your all-in-one single prestige set, which is the same as your multi-prestige set. Starting up, we're going to do the same thing that we did for preload, which is we're going to go ahead and max all of our habs. We're going to go into our research and max all of our research except for one level of WD, again, wormhole dampening. If you didn't watch the preload section, the reason why we don't maximize WD is because of the fact that we want to leave a little bit extra space just in case we fill up our habitats so that we can buy that extra level of WD after canceling our internal hatchery boosts, the tachyon boosts, and then we can run chickens to get our running chicken bonus without being afraid of filling up our habitats. Because if we fill up our habitats, I almost just accidentally bought wormhole dampening. That happens all the time where you accidentally buy wormhole dampening. But if we fill up the habitats, it's game over. You have to reset because you can't run chickens, and without being able to run chickens, you basically don't earn any soul eggs. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that I only buy 24 levels out of 25 levels of this. Now we have to maximize our shipping. So first you're going to activate your dilithium, and next you're going to go ahead and go into your boosts. And for this one, what we're going to use is we're going to use one 1000x legendary tachyon prism, two 50x legendary boost beacons, one 50x Jumbo's Best Bird Feed, and one legendary soul beacon for 500x. And so what I just told you was the full boosts. There's also the light boost set for less GE, which is two Jimbo's Best Bird Feeds, 1000x internal hatchery, one 500x soul beacon, and one 50x boost beacon. So we're going to activate you, and our chickens are going to be skyrocketing. And so I'm going to start running chickens immediately and switch on my other set. And so we're going to be skyrocketing up in chickens and also SE. If we go to our prestige screen, we can watch it go up. And it is going up quite quickly. Not as quickly as it went up with the preload, because with the preload, we start with the maximum amount of chickens in our habitats, whereas with this, it builds up simultaneously. And because of that, it's less SE overall, but it's just so much easier and so much faster. But I just filled up my habs, so I've still got 20 minutes left on my boosts, and I can't run chickens anymore. So what we'll do at this point is we'll cancel our tachyon prism, and oopsies, so we cancel it. And then we go ahead into our research, and we upgrade the last level wormhole dampening, and now we have the rest of the 20 minutes to just go ahead and have fun and run chickens. And when I say have fun, I mean have a dreadful time, because this is, preloads and all-in-ones are not for me. If you want at this point, you could go ahead and turn this into a preload technically and just activate another legendary boost beacon or another legendary soul beacon if you want to do the light version. But that's not what we're going to be doing. We're going to go ahead and say that we did it, and look how many that we got. With a standard preload, we got about 900 quadrillion, and using this method, we got about 800 quadrillion. So let's say that it's about 8/9 as effective for about half the time. And we're going to go ahead and claim that. And now we're going to go ahead and move on to multisteging. First, make sure to check MK2 and go ahead and see what prestige set it recommends to use. It'll be the same as your all-in-one prestige set. So for me, it recommends this, which is already what I have equipped, as you can see on my phone right now. So the way that we prestige multiple times in a row is kind of just by going as fast as possible. So you'll equip your set. Oh, first, actually, what you'll do is you'll equip your dilithium set. And this is when you start to get stressed out, right? First things first, make sure that you have your video doubler activated. You have to have it activated because it's a whole I think it's like a 16% SE bonus if you have it activated. And 16% is a lot when this game is all about grinding minuscule numbers out of anything you can. Okay, so I'm going to do my best just to explain this on the fly, but you're going to start off by, I recommend doing it in this order. You're going to get your legendary tachyon prism going, then you're going to activate your two 50x BBs, then you're going to do your 50x bird feed, and then you're going to do your 50x soul beacon. And then you're going to start running chickens like crazy. And immediately your population is going to start going up, and you have your 5 boosts activated. And okay, so immediately after you activate your boosts, go over and activate your actual prestige set so that you can get the most bonus out of your boosts. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep down the button. So I'm just going to keep holding down the button, and I'm going to go ahead and open up the prestige menu, and I'm going to take a look at when this number starts to slow down. And it's looking like it's going to slow down probably around like 550 maybe. And so at 550, I'm going to go ahead and prestige. So after prestiging, the goal is going to be to get back to universe as fast as possible. So the way that you usually do that is you upgrade an egg after edible in what's called a blind jump. Now, a blind jump, I'm going to show it to you right now. So if I upgrade to prodigy right now, the screen's going to turn black. And when the screen turns black, there's actually a moment that you can see the egg on the screen light up a little bit. I'm going to show it on the left side of the screen in slow motion and point when it lights up. But so when I click sell and start a prodigy avid farm, the moment it lights up, I'm going to click in the top left corner of the screen and in the center of my screen. And that's called a blind jump. I basically skipped to the next egg once I was still in the black screen and I couldn't see the GUI. And then I immediately started holding the red button so that I could run chickens. And so this just means that I get to, as fast as possible, upgrade my egg and also put chickens in my habs so that I can start researching and start getting a higher value for my farm so that I can upgrade to the universe egg as fast as possible. I use this 5-finger method when I'm speedrunning research, where I have 4 fingers on the screen and then I have my thumb like this. And that lets me touch a lot of buttons at once, which is very helpful And so you'll have to find something that's comfortable for you to speedrun getting these things. And in general, you're going to want to memorize the point at which you unlock universe. For some people, you'll need to do an intermediate egg. This is kind of like P2 to Zeta. I'll have to look up, and I'll put on the screen the actual jump points for every single person's value right now. But I just got 2 universe from Terraform just like that, and I'm already holding the red button right now, even though we're still on the screen. Okay, so now that it's open, I'm going to go ahead and immediately I'm going to upgrade 2 of these, and I'm going to upgrade 4 of these guys. Or you only need to do 2 technically, but I do 4 because they made it easier to upgrade. Anyways, and so now we're back to holding down buttons, and we're going to fully research. So unlike on the Terraform egg, where I just researched enough to unlock universe, on this one we're going to fully research everything, and that's because we're on universe. We got to get the most value out of it. And while researching, you could technically try and hold down the red button so that you maximize your RCB faster, but that's not really how I do it. I kind of just wait until I have just the last research left, and this matter reconfiguration research takes forever to do. And so it's the perfect time to start holding down your button. And then after you're done with that, you're going to want to make sure to max out some more of these cars. And whatever population that you prestige at the first time, you're going to want to prestige at again this time, maybe a little bit higher. So I'm just going to wait until I get to the same point of around, I think the last time was 550 Q. So this time I'm probably going to do around 500 Q. And it's here, so we're going to go ahead, press that. And now I'm going to wait for the egg to light up, and then I'm going to go ahead and start blind jumping. I only blind jump once to Graviton, and then I go straight from Graviton to Universe. And once again, I'm holding the red button even before the screen lights up, and I actually got a lucky draw there. If you hit a drone in the air during the black screen, or even when it first lights up, you can get box to start researching before your chickens even reach the habs, and that can save up to like a minute in a multi if you get it every single time. But generally, I only get it like once or twice, so it only saves about like 10-15 seconds throughout the whole run, which is still a lot, but it's not like everything, especially when your multis are 25 minutes long. Okay, so we're back to Universe again, already holding down the red button. And I'm going to do one more leg, and then I'm going to show you a helpful trick for if you need a break while you're multi-prestiging, because since this can last up to 25 minutes long, it can get a little tiring, honestly. Boop-a-doo-doo. Okay, so max, 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 max. And click on here. We're going to go through this one more time. Yeah, but this is just something that you might want to practice before even using your boosts, is all of this. And yeah, so if you are a PETA 2 around or somewhere around EXA, it's PETA 2 to EXA, and you're trying to do this, note that you're probably only going to have like a 10-minute boost timer, and you're not really, it's going to take you like 5 to 10 minutes to actually build back up to Universe, so it's extremely difficult to do it. You have to be really fast, and you don't have a lot of practice. So it's best to actually time how long it takes you to max out your research. And if it takes you half of your total boost time and you're a PETA, then you have to remember that you're going to have to do that 3 times, because on the earlier earnings bonuses, you have to jump multiple eggs. So you'll blind jump from, like for instance, you'll blind jump from edible egg to, I think you blind jump from edible to tachyon or something, and then from tachyon to dark matter, and then dark matter to universe. But I don't remember. It's been a long time since I was that EB, so I'll have to have it up on the screen this whole time. Okay. So now we're here again, and normally at this point, I would have noticed like around 3 billion population seems to be when I want to be prestiging again and redoing it. But I'm going to take a break now, and I'm going to go to the Enlightenment farm. And since on the Enlightenment farm, you're not allowed to use boosts, the way the game handles that if you actually already have boosts running is it pauses the timer for you. So this means that I can sit here knowing that I have 534 quadrillion in the bank right now, and knowing that I'll be able to just prestige whenever I want, and my boost timer will keep going, so I can go grab a glass of water, go to the bathroom, and I'm going to be using that a lot on Friday, because on Friday it's going to be egg day, and there's going to be hopefully huge prestige bonuses. Every Saturday there's a 2x prestige bonus to 3x prestige bonus. I think 3x is like once every 3 months, and or so, I don't remember, maybe it's once every 6 weeks. It's hard for me to keep track because I never prestige, but on Friday I'm going to be prestiging until I die, basically. It's going to be until my hands break. I have a finger brace and 2 wrist braces I'm supposed to be wearing, but to make these videos I have to take them off, And on Friday, I'm not going to be wearing them until I start getting in pain. And then we're going to put them on and keep going as long as we can until I'm in too much pain to keep going. And I'll take breaks on enlightenment every once in a while. But yeah, that's pretty much an example of how you multi. And in general, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to time how long it takes for you to build up from edible to universe getting maxed. And then you're going to take your total boost time and divide it by that number. And then maybe add like 30 seconds to a minute for how long you want to hold the button for. But I personally just wing it and I have great results. I don't care about doing it the most optimal way possible. I kind of just do it by feel. And I almost always do it somewhere between 2.5 billion and 3 billion chickens on my farm. And it seems to work really well for me. And so yeah, so this is the fastest way to get more SE, is to just rapid fire upgrade and prestige, and then rapid fire upgrade, prestige, upgrade, prestige, upgrade, prestige. And I think that I can do about like 10 legs. It might be more like 12 now. It's been a long time since I counted, and because of the fact that I don't calculate in advance how many I'm doing, I couldn't really tell you how many I'm doing unless I recorded a full set of me doing them. And maybe on Friday on stream, someone will count for me and tell me. That would be nice. But yeah, either way, don't forget to use your add doubler. Don't forget to equip your artifacts, because I always forget to equip my artifacts. Don't forget to use your dilithium boosts. And happy prestiging. Yeah, there's a lot of fine details that can be difficult to grasp, but I kind of just figured, hey, I'll show an example and give them the gist of how it works. And I technically did say everything you need to know. I just might have said it really fast and discombobulated me. But either way, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that this helped at all. Okay, bye.